So welcome back. In the previous video, we configured and activated an AI interview from the recruiter's perspective. As soon as the interview was activated, HireSense automatically generated the interview questions in the background and sent interview invitations to all assigned candidates. In this final video, let's switch to the candidate's perspective and experience the complete interview journey. Here's the interview invitation received by the candidate. The email contains the interview details along with a secure scheduling link. Let's click Schedule Interview. This is the interview scheduling page. Here we can see all interview dates configured by the recruiter. Let's select a convenient interview date, that is July 3, 2026. Once a date is selected, all available interview slots for that date are displayed. Let's choose a slot and click confirm this slot. So let's click 3:30 to 4 and confirm this slot. Interview scheduled successfully. Our interview has now been scheduled successfully. This page displays the confirmed interview date. Here we can see that time duration and time zone. Candidates can also resend the confirmation, resend email if required, or reschedule the interview. Also can reschedule the interview if that option has been enabled. Once the interview is scheduled, HireSense automatically sends a second confirmation email containing the secure interview link. So let's go back, which is the start interview. Here we can see we have the interview details, the scheduled date, the scheduled time, time zone, and the link. So once we click on the start interview link, so here we can see the waiting room, that is your interview begins soon. Since our interview hasn't started yet, we have been taken to the waiting room. Here we can see a live countdown showing exactly when the interview becomes available. Until the configured access window opens, the interview cannot be started. So let's wait for the countdown. Also here you can see some of the rules that are mentioned here, like use a desktop or laptop, mobile is not recommended, ensure a stable internet connection, sit in a quiet environment with no distractions, have a notepad and pen handy if needed. And here you can see the interview access rule. You will only be able to access the interview during your selected slot. If you miss your scheduled time, the interview will be locked. This is a single attempt session. So if you want, you can contact support. If needed, you can contact support here, and if for any reason the page is not responding, you can refresh from here. So let's just also at the top you can see all other, the role, the interview type, the date, time zone, and the duration, and the name of the interview candidate and the role. So now our interview has been started. So ready to begin. This is the page, middle page of that. So how it works, there are certain rules, certain guidelines and setup. So if we are stuck, we can refresh the page and there is start my interview and enter full screen and contact support. So this page displays the interview details along with some important instructions from the candidate. Once we are ready, we can simply click Start My Interview. So our interview has now started. These are the interview questions that HireSense generated after the recruiter activated the interview and reviewed the AI generated question pool. Since the recruiter configured this interview to present 5 questions, HireSense has automatically selected one question from the approved question pool and is presenting them one at a time. At the top, we can see the this is the remaining time along with our current progress through the interview. That is, we can see here progress tracker. So current question skipped so far, which is 0/5. So if we answer any, suppose let me answer this question. Just if I say like for test, something like this, the interview, the candidate will answer the question and will click on next question. As we move through the interview, HireSense continue presenting question from the approved question pool until the configured number of questions has been completed. If we are unsure about a question, we can simply skip it. So we have another option here, that is skip and continue. We can simply skip it and come back to it later before submitting the interview. So let's just maybe answer them. Test and next question, and I want to skip this question and again test. This you can see this is the last question, question 5 of 5. So I'm just submitting it. So interview. So before submitting the interview, HireSense automatically remind us about any skipped question. So here you can see these 2 questions I have skipped. So it is showing me in the skipped question list. From here we can return and answer those questions or continue with the submissions. So if we click on this answer now, we will be taken to that question. Okay. So now let's submit. Let's click submit my interview. Okay. So interview submitted successfully. Our interview has now been submitted successfully. At this point, the candidate's journey is complete. HireSense now begins evaluating the interview responses using AI and prepares a detailed assessment report for the recruiter. So if I now again, so it is showing me interview access unavailable. So if we try to access the interview again after submission, HireSense prevents the interview from being reopened. Depending on the situations, candidate can also see this page if they attempt to join before the allowed interview window or after the interview link has expired. Now that the candidate has completed the interview, let's switch back to the recruiter portal and review the AI generated interview evaluation. So this is my recruiter portal. So we have AI result page. So this page provides a complete AI generated evaluation for every candidate who has completed the interview. At the top, recruiters can quickly view the candidate's overall interview score. So here I can see the score. The result can be searched. Here I can search, and also I can filter with the score range or verdict type, that is rejected or shortlisted. So if when there are multiple candidates, it becomes easier to search any specific candidate. So let's open one of the completed evaluation. So here you can see this is the candidate who has just completed the interview, and you can see the score as I have not answered any of the question properly. So that is why the status is rejected, and here is also a feedback summary, and the flat is true means the candidate has not cheated in the interview. So let me click on view breakdown. So this page provides a comprehensive breakdown of the candidate's interview performance. At the top, we can see the overall interview score, which is 4 out of 100, along with the AI generated hiring recommendations. So this one, that is the verdict and the integrity risk. So below that, HireSense summarizes the candidate's key strength, improvement areas, and overall interview performance. So here we can see AI evaluation summary of the candidate, the strength, which is nothing, and weakness, that is lack of relevant context, poor understanding of the topic, inability of the question adequately. Recruiters can review the candidate's response, the AI evaluation, and the score awarded for each question, providing complete transparency into how the final interview question was calculated. So this trick question was attempted by the candidate. So if I click on the arrow, the answer you can see here and the score for this. This enables recruiter to make informed hiring decisions based on consistent and explaining AI evaluations. So this brings us at the end of the HireSense product walkthrough. Throughout this series, we have explored the complete AI-powered hiring journey from organization setup and knowledge management to intelligent resume parsing, AI-driven candidate shortlisting, interview configuration, candidate interviews, and explainable AI evaluations. HireSense combines automation, transparency, and organizational knowledge to help recruiters make faster and more informed hiring decisions. Thank you for watching.